Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop. Make better business decisions with analytics. Grow with Google helps people grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free digital skills, training, and tools. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Bernice Chao, co-founder of Asians in Advertising and co-author of The Visibility Mindset. I'm so excited that you are here with us. Today, we're going to discuss how you can make more strategic business decisions with the insights from Google Analytics. One of the great business advantages in today's era of big data is our access to good, solid information about customer groups, not only who they are, but also how they respond to our websites, call to action, web-based ads, social media campaigns, and more. So imagine having this huge amount of data dropped into your inbox. Now, what to do with it all? One good way to make that data manageable is by using Google Analytics. Google Analytics lets you find the connections, patterns, and themes within the reams of data so that you have a genuine understanding of customer behavior. Which brings us to the point of the quote on the side, data makes your briefcase heavy, insights make you rich. Viewing reports filled with a bunch of numbers and statistics isn't enough. You need to understand the story behind the numbers and what that means for your business. So today we are going to help talk about how to use analytics data to gain insights that can help. On its surface, data looks like a lot of numbers and figures that you may find encouraging or disappointing, depending on your expectations. Did you see a sales bump last month? Great. Did visits to your website take a steep dive this quarter? Sad. But data can tell a bigger story. You may have had fewer visits to your site, but the data might show that they are return customers and they bought more products. You can learn things like where they are coming from, social media or search results, what web pages seem to interest them the most, or for that matter, the least. Understanding the patterns, the story behind the data puts you in a better position to create effective campaigns. Today, we'll discuss the basics of using Google Analytics to better understand your site visitors. We'll start with an overview of the most current version of Google Analytics. Then we'll go over your account, including features, reports, and the Google Analytics search box. We'll show you how to link Google Analytics and Google Ads. Finally, we'll wrap it up and give you a few additional resources. Let's start with the basics. What is Google Analytics? Let's take a look at a hypothetical entrepreneurial team, Eva and Ricky. Eva and Ricky started out by selling boutique fashion at craft fairs and local events. Over time, they built a loyal customer base who loved their designs and always came back for more. When Eva and Ricky had to stop selling face-to-face in 2020 due to the pandemic, they pivoted their businesses and started an online store. Previously, Eva and Ricky had been making most of their big decisions for their business based on their own gut instincts or feedback from the customers. They realized that selling online gave them an opportunity to grow beyond their loyal but relatively small customer pool. And they wanted to be smart about how they did it. Throughout this workshop, we'll show how Eva and Ricky use Google Analytics to take that next step for their clothing business. The questions Eva and Ricky face are familiar to many small business owners. As we go through today's workshop, think about the questions you have so you can learn how Google Analytics can help you find the answers and find the story behind that data. Side note, the screenshots in this presentation are taken from the Google Analytics demo account. This demo account is publicly accessible, and it uses the data from Google's online merchandise store. You can access it to see how Google Analytics 4 works before setting up your own account. To find it, visit the Analytics Help Center at support.google.com/analytics and search for demo account, or do a Google search for Google Analytics demo account. Eva and Ricky felt confident making gut decisions as they built their business because they knew their customers really well. They would see the same people over and over at local events. They got some of their best design ideas from conversations with those people. When Eva and Ricky started selling online, they continued to see their gut instinct to curate products. But despite their best efforts, they didn't see the numbers of sales they hoped for. What happened in the transition from craft fair to online store? Sometimes making decisions based on gut instinct works, especially if you are in close, regular contact with your customers. but it's almost always better to base decisions and actions on data if you have it. Even a good gut decision may see improved results with data to guide the strategy. Here's an example of a gut decision. If a new item wasn't selling, Eva and Ricky might assume the new design was a flop, cut the price, and take the loss. Or they could look at the data and notice that while overall sales were below average, the people who were buying the item were clustered in one particular city, or referrals were coming in from a specific YouTube fashion influencer. This could lead them to focus their marketing efforts in a specific direction for that product to increase its sales. As Eva and Ricky started to learn more about their site visitors through Google Analytics reports, they were able to make sharper decisions for the business. Eva and Ricky's first step toward greater success was to set a SMART goal. A SMART goal is specific. Instead of make more sales calls, try make 10 sales calls this week. Instead of increase website visits, try increase website visits by 10% this quarter. Measurable. In order to see if you are accomplishing your goals, there has to be a way to track and measure it. Depending on your goal, identify the reports in Google Analytics that can show you if you're meeting your goal. Attainable. It's okay to dream big, but it's also good to be realistic. Make sure your goal is something that can be accomplished. Relevant. This is the why of the goal. How is it helping the business? Time bound. You need a deadline. By setting SMART goals, Eva and Ricky have a clear idea of what they expect to happen and when, so they can avoid getting sidetracked. Eva and Ricky live in a small town. In order to grow their business, they need to find customers in other cities and states. After doing some market research, they decided to try building their customer base in 3 large metropolitan areas. But after checking their Google Analytics reports, they learned that their website didn't get many visitors from those areas. That information helped them develop a SMART goal, increasing website visitors in those 3 metropolitan areas by 10% in the next quarter. They then developed marketing campaigns that focused on those cities. Throughout the quarter, they reviewed Google Analytics reports to learn more about the visitors from those cities and use the information to fine-tune their marketing strategy. How did they do? We'll come back to Eva and Ricky a bit later in the presentation. Now, it's your turn. Before we get into the details of Google Analytics, take a moment to think about your own business goals. Increased sales is a common goal, but you may want to break that down into specific steps along the customer journey. You might need to generate leads. You may want to increase phone calls to the business, schedule more appointments, drive foot traffic to a store, increase downloads, and more. These are all things you can track in Google Analytics, and you can create SMART goals around these intermediate steps that lead to increased sales. Think about the steps in the customer journey. Consider how you frame your goals and the tools you will need to monitor progress. If you already have a website, is there a way to track progress? Can you know whether or not potential customers are taking these intermediate steps? For those of you who haven't yet created a website, think about the path someone might take before they buy your product or service. Be sure that your website makes it easy to complete these steps. Now, let's take a deep dive into Google Analytics. This no-cost tool is one of the most popular analytics options available. Google Analytics reports can help you understand visitor behavior on your site and what actions they take. See how customers find your site, track and record conversions on your site, key actions that users on your site take, such as completing a purchase, submitting a form, signing up for a newsletter, scheduling an appointment, and more. Once you begin using Google Analytics, you can start to get a clearer picture of who is visiting your site and which groups of visitors are the most likely to help you achieve your goals. For example, you may discover that social networks bring lots of people to your website, but these visitors don't buy many products. Conversely, you may find that email marketing campaigns bring fewer visitors, but they are far more likely to convert. Google Analytics won't give you information about individual people, but it will give you information about how groups of people with similar characteristics behave on your website. So, how exactly can you use Google Analytics? Let's start with the role of your website. Ideally, it leads the user from one page of useful content to the next until they finally take a key action. Google Analytics reports can show you when that process goes smoothly and where the stumbling blocks. It gives you information about who is coming to your site, how they found it, and what they do once they get there. You can use Google Analytics to understand what content your audience is most interested in. Evaluating how visitors move through your site can help you see which pages appeal to visitors and which are not effective, so you can make adjustments to the content when necessary. Evaluate which channels drive the most conversions. Understanding where your visitors are coming from, social media, email marketing, search results, will help you to make better and smarter advertising content and design decisions. Before we get into the details of how to use Google Analytics, let's discuss versions. If you set up Google Analytics before October 2020, it's most likely an older version of the software called Universal Analytics. This product began to evolve in 2020, and now all new accounts automatically use the latest version, called Google Analytics 4. Google Analytics 4 will replace Universal Analytics. So if you're using Universal Analytics now, it's time to make the switch because starting July 1st, 2023, new data will flow into Google Analytics 4 properties only. You'll be able to view older Universal Analytics reports for at least 6 months, but they will not update. Google Analytics 4 has several advantages. It's privacy-focused and designed to adapt as the technology landscape continues to evolve. It uses machine learning to unearth insights about the customer journey across platforms, and the reporting can show website activity and app activity in the same user interface. So, how can you tell which version you have? You need to look at the property ID. Universal Analytics property IDs start with the letters UA and end with numbers. Google Analytics 4 property IDs have only numbers. So, to find your property ID, sign into Google Analytics. In the top left corner next to the Analytics logo, click the down arrow to open the property selector. The leftmost column lists your accounts, and the next column lists your properties. The property you currently have open is highlighted in gray. Look at the number below the property name to identify the property type. Let's go over how to set up a new account and how to migrate an existing Universal Analytics property to Google Analytics 4. To start collecting basic data from your website or app, first create a Google Analytics account. Go to g.co/analytics. To create an account, click Get Started Today. To sign into your account, click Sign into Analytics. If you use a website builder platform, often called a content management system or CMS, it may not yet be set up to accept the new property ID format. In this case, you will need to take other steps to set up Google Analytics 4 for your site. The link on the slide takes you to the Help Center article explaining how to link the new Google Analytics with a variety of popular platforms. That link is g.co/grow/platforms. If you have the older version of Google Analytics set up already, you should add Google Analytics 4 to your account too. You may have already received an email from Google Analytics saying your Google Analytics 4 is going to be configured for you. Starting in March 2023, Google Analytics will set up GA4 automatically for existing users. The new GA4 property will be configured with basic settings consistent with the existing Universal Analytics property, including conversion events, Google Ad links, and website tags. You will be able to access both sets of reports. You will not lose your old data, and the older version of Google Analytics will continue to collect data until July 2nd, 2023. After that date, new data will only appear in Google Analytics 4 reports. Many accounts have the option to use Google Analytics 4 Setup Assistant. Here's how to do it. Sign into your Analytics account and click Admin on the left navigation bar, the gear icon, at the bottom. Next, click GA4 Setup Assistant. It is the first option in the second column labeled Property. Follow the prompts and the wizard will set up Google Analytics 4. It can take up to 30 minutes for data to begin appearing in your new Google Analytics 4 property. If you cannot use the Setup Assistant, there are detailed instructions in the Help Center. For step-by-step instructions, visit support.google.com/analytics. That link is on this slide. The first topic is Migrate from Universal Analytics to Google Analytics 4, and it has the information you need. Now that you know how to set up your Google Analytics account, let's dive into how you can use it. Once you create or sign into Google Analytics, you will see a homepage. It shows a dashboard featuring the metrics you look up frequently when you are in the account, as well as a trend line. The default dashboard answers common reporting questions, but you can customize it to show other metrics that apply to your business objectives. You can navigate to other reports within Google Analytics, see recently viewed reports, and scroll down to find insights related to how visitors are using your site. Before we move on, I'll point out one more feature: the search box at the top of the page. This connects you to a tool called Analytics Intelligence, which makes it easier to find the answers you are looking for. For now, let's explore the different kind of reports. The information gathered by Google Analytics goes into a wide variety of customizable reports. Reporting lets you see valuable data about your users and their behavior across your website and mobile apps. We'll introduce some report categories to help you get started. First, real time. What's happening on your website or app right now? Second, acquisition. Where did your website visitors come from? Third, engagement on your site or app. What pages are visitors looking at and how are they navigating the site? Fourth, monetization. In the case of an e-commerce site, are you selling products? Next, retention. How frequently do visitors come to your site and how long do they stay on it? And finally, tech. What devices and browsers are your visitors using? In almost any type of report you create, you can customize many of the options, such as the date range. You can also customize reports using filters to narrow the information to just what you want. And you can compare two different sets of data for comparison, such as visitors this month versus last month. One quick note to keep in mind: the numbers shown in Google Analytics may not be exact. However, they are accurate enough to give you a solid understanding and monitor trends. Let's take a look at the real-time report and how to use it. Real-time reports lets you monitor activity on your app or website as it happens. Some of the information you might see are the number of users during the last 30 minutes per minute, users by source, media, or campaign, users or new users, users by website page title or developer supplied app screen name, events, such as interactions on a website or app like loading a page or clicking a link, and conversions. With real-time reports, you can immediately and continuously monitor the effects that new campaigns and site changes have on your traffic. For example, you can use real-time to gauge the impact of a big media campaign, then use this information to prepare for future events. You might learn that you should increase stock before an email blast or bring in an extra staff person to handle increased demand. Now, let's talk about acquisition reports. These reports show data about how users arrive on your website or mobile app. User acquisition gives you an overview of how visitors find your site. Are they first-time visitors or returning visitors? So you may see that a brand new user came to the site via search, and a return visitor got there via an email blast. This gives you the opportunity to spot trends that can help you reach more users. In the slide shown, we see that 374,000 new users found the site from organic reach, 112,000 from a referral site, and 32,000 from cost per click ads, and 1,300 from email. Traffic acquisition. Reports show where users were online right before they arrived on your site. This information can help you understand the effectiveness of your marketing efforts. Engagement reports present a picture of how people navigate through your site or mobile app and how they interact with it. For example, you can see when users checked an account balance, scrolled a page really slowly, which indicates reading, view product details, or spent time on a product page, watch an informational video. Engage sessions, shown on screen now, are a collection of events that indicate the user is actively engaged with the website. An engaged session is a session that lasts 10 seconds or longer, has one or more conversion events, and or has 2 or more page views. If you have an e-commerce website or app, you will probably use the monetization reports. These reports tell you more than just if people are buying your stuff. In addition to showing revenue generated from product sales, ads, and subscriptions, a monetization report lets you see the number of views for each item you sell, the number of ad impressions in your app, and more. Seeing the ratio between views and purchases for products can help you to adjust content to increase sales, maybe by using higher quality photos, bundling products, or reworking copy. Retention reports help you understand how frequently and for how long users engage with your website or mobile app after their first visit. In other words, do people come back? When and for how long? And what do return visitors do? Remember, while these are not necessarily exact numbers, but they are reliable and accurate enough for seeing trends. Last but not least, tech reports. Understanding the technologies your audience uses lets you fine-tune your website and app and plan for future changes. For example, you want to be sure your site is fully functional in current browsers and works well on all mobile devices. You might also want to understand where important actions happen so you can focus resources developing your site and apps in the places that make the most sense. Earlier in this presentation, I mentioned that Google Analytics search box and Analytics Intelligence is a tool that uses machine learning to help you find the answers you are looking for and to surface trends and insights that might be important for your business. Let's take a look. One of the most useful features in Google Analytics is the search box. In a nutshell, it allows you to type in your questions in everyday language and connects you with possible answers. The search box is one of the features that makes up Analytics Intelligence. Analytics Intelligence also powers insights and advanced features like conversion modeling. At the top of Google Analytics reports, you will see a search box powered by Analytics Intelligence. This tool helps by delivering the answers you need when you are uncertain about where to look. It can also help you find admin pages, account or property configuration pages, and help center content. Using the search box is straightforward. Just type in a word, phrase, or question to get instant answers, reports, and insights. For example, if you enter the question, which channel has the highest goal conversion rate? You will see a report with a ranked list of goal conversion rates ordered by channel. Or if you want to give a colleague access to your Google Analytics account, you can type in add new user, and it will show you a link to account access management, the admin page that allows you to add users. You can learn more about the search box at g.co/grow/AI. Do you remember when we reviewed the analytics homepage and mentioned that you would find insights when you scroll down? These are powered by Analytics Intelligence too. Automated insights surface when unusual changes or emerging trends in your data are detected. Insights can help explain trends, changes, and opportunities that impact your business. You can also create custom insights, up to 50 per property. These show up in your account and can be emailed to you as alerts. Every time you interact with the insight, Analytics Intelligence learns more about your interests and ranks new insights accordingly. So now you know how the search box helps you find the information you need. If you have experience working with Google Analytics, you may be accustomed to and prefer working with dimensions, secondary dimensions, and segments. You can still use those features. If you're not familiar with these terms, here's a quick rundown. A dimension is a descriptive attribute or characteristic of an object that can be given different values. For example, one dimension could be city, and the possible values could be Atlanta, Seattle, Chicago, Albany, and etc. Each analytics report includes a primary dimension, a lens from which you can view the data. Sometimes you may want to dig deeper. That's where secondary dimensions come into play. If your primary dimension is city, you can layer on a secondary dimension like browser. Now the reports can show you the city and the browser being used. And finally, segments. A segment is a subset of your analytics data. For example, you may want to see a report about visitors from Chicago using Chrome browsers. Now you can see how the dimensions can help you pinpoint the audience you are looking for and isolate that data in your reports. Advanced analytics users should check out a tool called Explorations. Standard analytics reports gives you lots of information, but they operate with a standard set of data relevant to that report. With Explorations, you have access to all your data. You can pick out exactly what you want to see to get more in-depth insights into user behavior on your site. The kind of specific information you generate with explorations can become a valuable tool in guiding your business plans. So it's worthwhile to open this tab and take some time to experiment with different reports. Let's wrap this up by going back to Eva and Ricky. Remember that Eva and Ricky set a SMART goal to increase website traffic by 10% in 3 cities? By using Google Analytics to discover how their most active users were finding their site in each city, they're able to adjust their marketing efforts to reach more people. At the end of the quarter, Google Analytics showed them that traffic in 3 cities increased by more than 10%. So they reached the goal. They set success. But increased traffic did not lead to more sales in all 3 cities. It led to increased sales in 2 of the cities, but not an increase in the third. Based on this information, they decided to pause that version of the campaign and focus their resources where it was working. Of course, that doesn't mean that third city isn't going to be a good market, but the analytics report showed that their campaign needed adjustment. Once they do that, analysts can show reports focused on that area and that campaign, so Eva and Ricky can track and measure results. Let's cover one last Google Analytics benefit. It connects and communicates with other tools, such as Google Ads. This allows the other tools benefit from the Google Analytics data if you choose to share it. If you use Google Ads, you'll want to link it to Google Analytics. Why? You can learn what happens after users click your ad. This helps you to understand visitor behavior, specifically paid ad visitor behavior. This information can help you learn what's working and what might be improved, so you can take steps to optimize your campaigns. You can focus efforts on specific user groups based on their previous behavior. You can define customer groups by their activity on your website. For instance, you can identify the audience who has put 3 or more items in their shopping cart only to abandon it. By offering this group a temporary promotion, you may be able to convince them to follow through on their transaction instead of leaving their site. And you can better understand your paid traffic and if certain words or keywords do not convert. By linking Google Ads with your Google Analytics, you'll learn if clicks on your ads translate to conversions on your site. Plus, all the other information Google Analytics can help you learn about that visit. To link Google Ads to Analytics, you must first have Google Ads account and a Google Analytics account. Once your accounts are set up, you can head over to the admin section on Analytics. From there, click the property you want to connect under the property column. This process may vary slightly, but you will be prompted to link your ads account with your analytics account. It can take up to 24 hours for that data to appear. Pro tip: registering all your Google products under the same Google account, which is your email address, will make linking accounts easier. We've covered a lot of information, so let's talk about what you should do next. Where do you go from here? If you don't have a Google Analytics account yet, set one up now. Google Analytics can't gather information from the past. So even if you don't think you're quite ready to dive into the reports, setting up the account now means you'll have data to look at later when you are ready. If you have an existing Google Analytics account that uses Universal Analytics, set up Google Analytics 4 now. You can continue using your old reports, but after July 1st, 2023, you will need to make the switch. It will be better to have more data in the new reports. When you are ready to dive in, use the reports to understand your site and app visitors and learn what they are interested in. Based on what you learn, set some goals to try new things, experiment with new content, social media marketing, or online advertising. And remember to use Google Analytics to measure results and helps you see if your campaigns help you reach your goals. If they aren't working, try something different. If you enjoy video lessons, subscribe to the Grow with Google YouTube channel at youtube.com/growwithgoogle. This channel publishes a new video regularly covering topics that can help you grow your skills, careers, and businesses. If you're looking to start a new career and land a competitively paid job or build skills to grow in your career, check out Google Career Certificates. Google Career Certificates can give you a path to in-demand jobs with top employers that are currently hiring. You can earn a certificate and prepare for a new career in a high-growth field in under 6 months, even if you don't have relevant experience. Learn at your own pace and complete the online program on your own terms. Certificates are available for data analytics, advanced data analytics, business intelligence, digital marketing and e-commerce, IT support, IT automation with Python, user experience design, project management, and cybersecurity. Get started at grow.google/certificates. Also, US businesses can get up to 500 scholarships each to Google Career Certificates to train their employees. These scholarships are worth up to $100,000 in workforce training per American company. Here's the fine print. US businesses are eligible to receive up to 500 scholarships for Google Career Certificates on Coursera, valid through December 18, 2024. Eligibility and number of licenses granted subject to application. Business verification and approval by Coursera. Businesses can apply at grow.google/certificates for business. Grow with Google is an initiative to help people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their businesses. Job seekers can grow their skills in order to find new jobs and advance their careers. Teachers can learn how to put the latest technology to work inside and outside the classroom. Small business owners can build their online presence and find new customers. Startups can learn how to get their ideas the exposure they need to succeed. Developers can sharpen their current skills and master new ones. To learn more, visit google.com/grow. Thank you so much for attending today's workshop. We truly value your feedback. If you want to take a moment to share your thoughts, we'd really appreciate it. You can access the survey at g.co/grow/feedback or by using your mobile phone's camera to scan the QR code on this slide. Click the banner that appears to access the survey. Thank you again.